Hello boys and girls, Ice Cream Gecko here. So I'm coming back from uni right now. First day of uni, and I also had a little sight-in into my last exam, and I had, I wasn't even close, let's say it like that. I wasn't even close. But that is not the main topic today. The main topic is, does a language change a person? So I read that newspaper, or the kind of like online magazine title, about a week ago, but I actually wasn't too lazy to actually open it up and read it. I just thought, well, we'll do that later. Turns out that the usual browser that I use, I do not use that view later feature of it. It's not like the YouTube playlist to watch later. So it got lost. But I thought about it today, and actually yesterday, the day prior to that too. Because, as you might know, I am German, and English is therefore, well, it's not really a second language, but it actually is. And I will never be able to talk English like I talk German, that's just a given. You know, a native speaker will always have the high ground upon you when you talk in their language. Like there's no doubt about that. But I think, and I thought about the actual thinking process behind the talking that you do in the language that you're talking in. Because I've noticed that the way that I talk and the topics that come up in my head are different when I talk and, well, quote unquote, think in English than when I do it in German. In German, it feels like I'm just, I just got all the arsenal of words and topics about that I can think of, and I could talk about pretty much everything on these videos. But just because of that language barrier, I'm limited to a kind of narrow perspective on the whole scheme. And also, I think the thought process behind it and the actual development of the kind of discussion or the monologue that I have here on these videos is kind of different too, which I never really thought about before actually making these videos, because I always thought, well, if you talk in a different language you're just using different words. But oh my, look at that Megane. No, what's it, that it's a weirdly called Renault. But that was a diesel right there. Black smoke everywhere. But it's not like that. First of all, the vocabulary. It's like, do you know that this little blind flaps they put on horses to keep them from jumping around and going crazy when they are out in public and on like horse wagons and stuff like that? It feels like I have these on when I talk in English, because I do not have the whole repertoire to myself, let's get into the center lane right here. Oh no. Oh no. Is there a traffic jam again? No, I didn't cut up that Yaris or what it is on my left. No, he had space, and you kind of have to go in the center lane, when there's so much traffic coming in from the right. And he wasn't looking at me either, so everything is fine. So I actually think if I made videos in German that I could express myself a lot better, and that's not only due to the vocabulary, it's also the kind of things I think about when I think in these different languages and talk about them and actually plan ahead of what I'm going to talk about. I think if I was talking in German and making videos in German, I would make much more casual videos in terms of topics. And also that whole, daily life stuff, getting groceries, talking about that and this and yada yada yada. I cannot talk about that in English. I do not know why. And the thought doesn't even come up when I'm making videos. It's actually like I am a different person when I talk in English. It is so weird, incredibly weird, and I do not know why that is. I'd like to know that. Maybe I'm gonna dig up that article and finally read it. It's probably, I don't know of which like magazine it was from. Maybe it was just some kind of boulevard newspaper, and they write 3 sentences and sprinkle in a few scientific terms and call themselves scientific journalists. But yeah, who knows? And if you speak a second language and do that more or less regularly, you know, in my all-day life I do not talk. Oh great. He's a bit, yeah, thank you. It was a bit too close. I like to have big gaps in front of in the back of me, behind me, but whatever. You know, compared to what I see people in cars do to me on the road, I guess I'm fine. Not that big of a deal. Yeah, let me know in the comments below what you think about that, because I thought this was quite interesting, and in fact, the thought wasn't going away. So maybe there is really something to it, because I can feel it. I can feel it myself. And I'd like to know why that is. Maybe it's just, the acquaintance to the language and all around, the kind of things that you actually watch in terms of videos. Like I watch mostly now, it's like the report of the week. It's PewDiePie, it's Baking Steric, and ASMR channels. That's pretty much it. And some kind of weirdos that make videos in German. And the Drachenlord, self-proclaimed most hated YouTuber in Germany. He's an idiot, but not the most hated. He's stupid. That's why all these things happen to him. That's really great. Now I spit on my visor. Oh my god, this pin lock is a pain in the bottom to clean. Okay, I'm going to let you go in just a few seconds, but I just need to get out of here safely. It's always tricky. Okay, see you next time.